Let's be honest for a minute. Do you even remember when you started taking vitamin D3, magnesium, or K2? Most people don't. We just keep swallowing the pills because everyone says they're good for your health. But here's what nobody really talks about. When exactly should you stop? After 5 months, 1 year, 2 years, or D? This is not a small question. Studies show that more than 70% of Americans over 55 take at least one of these supplements daily. Yet very few ever check if their body still needs them. In Japan, seniors live longer, often past 85, but they rarely rely on bottles of pills. Instead, they get these nutrients from fermented soybeans, seaweed, fish, and leafy greens. That's the real danger is hidden. Even the most natural vitamins can backfire if used the wrong way. Too much can strain your liver, disrupt your hormones, or make your legs weaker instead of stronger. The supplement industry won't tell you that, but your body will, through fatigue, cramps, or sleep problems that creep in quietly. First, to understand the issue, we need to know what supplement cycling is. In simple terms, it means taking vitamins or minerals for a period of time, then pausing and starting again later. Think of it like breathing in and out. Your body works better when it has both activity and rest. The same idea applies to nutrition. Non-stop intake can sometimes confuse the body instead of helping it. Why make things complicated? The truth is, your body adapts quickly. When you feed it the same pill every day, its response weakens over time. Think about coffee. 1 cup used to keep you awake all morning, now it takes 3, and you still feel tired. That's adaptation at work. Supplements are no different. Too much for too long, and your system forgets how to function naturally. Another problem is how certain nutrients interact with hormones. Take magnesium or vitamin D3 in large doses every single day, and your body may cut back on producing its own. The result is a strange dependency, where you feel worse the moment you stop. This is why many Japanese elders prefer to let food, not pills, carry the weight. By rotating seaweed, fermented soy, fish, and vegetables, they get nutrients in a natural rhythm that supports the body without overwhelming it. Then there's the issue of side effects. Have you ever noticed stomach upset after taking magnesium? Or constipation after heavy vitamin D use? Pausing gives the digestive system time to reset. In Japan, this is built into their eating culture. They call it harahachibu, eating until you're only 80% full. That same principle of just enough applies to supplements too. Now, let's talk about vitamin K2, the nutrient that most people overlook. K2 works like a traffic officer. Its main job is to guide calcium into your bones and teeth, instead of letting it drift into arteries or kidneys where it can cause harm. That's why experts say K2 and D3 are a power couple. Without one, the other becomes risky. But here's the surprising part. Long-term use of K2 rarely shows toxicity. In fact, the bigger problem is deficiency. Why are so many people low in K2? Because it barely exists in modern Western foods. Leafy greens provide K1, but K2 is mostly found in fermented products. That's where Japan shines. For centuries, Japanese families have eaten natto, sticky fermented soybeans loaded with K2. Doctors in Osaka found that seniors who eat natto daily show much stronger bones and less artery calcification than those who don't. It's a cultural habit with measurable impact. Do you need to cycle K2? The good news is no. Regular doses of 90 to 200 micrograms daily are considered safe long-term. But if you're combining it with very high doses of D3, it may be wise to pause both together and let your body rebalance. There is one exception: If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, K2 can interfere. In that case, your doctor must monitor carefully. Let me share a story. Mrs. Howard, a 72-year-old from Portland, told me she had been on supplements for nearly a decade. When she visited Japan, she noticed elders at the breakfast table eating natto with rice. Curious, she tried it for 2 weeks. To her surprise, her knee stiffness eased. It wasn't a miracle cure, but it reminded her that food can sometimes work more gently and effectively than pills. Next comes magnesium, a mineral we can't live without. It participates in over 300 processes in your body: energy, nerve signals, sleep, blood sugar control. Imagine trying to drive a car without oil. The engine still runs, but eventually it breaks down. That's what life without enough magnesium feels like. Unfortunately, up to half of Americans over 50 are deficient. Why? Our soils are depleted, processed foods dominate our diet, and stress makes us lose even more magnesium. The result? Poor sleep, leg cramps at night, heart pounding, unexplained anxiety. Sound familiar? In Japan, where diets include tofu, sesame seeds, seaweed, and green vegetables, deficiency is far less common. Elders naturally consume what they need without swallowing large tablets every day. It's a lifestyle difference, not just a dietary one. Is magnesium safe to take continuously? Yes, for most people with healthy kidneys. Forms like glycinate or citrate are gentle and well absorbed. Because magnesium is water-soluble, the body flushes out what it doesn't use. This is very different from fat-soluble vitamins like D3 that can build up. That's why cycling magnesium usually isn't needed. In fact, stopping suddenly often brings back cramps, fatigue, or restless nights. Think about it. Have you ever stopped magnesium for just a few days and noticed your sleep get worse? Many people report exactly that. For seniors, the body's need is constant. Instead of cycling, the better approach is adjusting dosage based on diet. If you already eat plenty of dark leafy greens, nuts, and avocados, a smaller supplement might be enough. But if your meals lack those foods, 300 to 400 milligrams daily is often necessary. Here's where the Japanese approach makes sense. Rather than relying heavily on pills, they weave magnesium-rich foods into every meal. A bowl of miso soup with seaweed at breakfast, sesame seeds sprinkled over lunch, and a handful of edamame at dinner. These small choices build resilience over decades. And then we come to vitamin D3, the trickiest of the three. Unlike magnesium, D3 is fat-soluble, meaning it stays stored in your body for weeks, even months. That's why daily high doses can accumulate silently. You may think you're protecting your bones, but you could be overloading your liver and disrupting calcium balance. Japanese elders rarely face this problem. Why? They spend more time outdoors walking, gardening, or fishing. Their skin naturally produces D3 from sunlight. On top of that, their diet is rich in fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and salmon, all natural sources of D3. Instead of swallowing 5,000 IU tablets daily, they balance food and sunlight to maintain healthy levels. Medical studies confirm this. Vitamin D levels can remain elevated weeks after stopping supplementation. That's why cycling D3 can be smart, especially if you're already taking high doses. If your blood tests show levels above 50 nanograms per milliliter, it might be time to pause for a few weeks or switch to a smaller maintenance dose. So what's the big picture? Supplements are not villains, but they're not magic either. They're tools. Use them wisely, and they support you. Overuse them, and they may become a burden. The Japanese secret is simple. Rely on food first, supplements second. By doing this, they live long, active lives, often past 85, with stronger bones, steadier legs, and clearer minds. Honestly, every comment from you is huge motivation for me to keep sharing. And now, let's explore the truth about vitamin D3, the nutrient that so many people are unknowingly overdosing on. D3 is not just another vitamin. It behaves like a hormone, influencing your immune system, mood, and even how your heart functions. It's powerful, but with that power comes risk when taken without balance. Unlike vitamin C, which leaves the body quickly, vitamin D3 lingers in fat tissue and the liver. This means you don't need to take it every single day if your blood levels are already healthy. In fact, piling on more and more can cause fatigue, cramps, or even calcium buildup in your arteries. Japanese elders understand this intuitively. They get steady D3 from sunlight and fish rather than swallowing megadoses. That natural rhythm keeps their bones strong while avoiding toxicity. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that vitamin D levels stay elevated for weeks, sometimes months, even after stopping supplements. This is why cycling D3 makes sense, especially if you're using doses above 5,000 IU daily. Taking a break gives your body time to use what's already stored. In Okinawa, many elders spend mornings tending gardens or walking to the market, exposing their skin to sunlight for 20 minutes a day. It's a habit that naturally balances vitamin D without depending on high-dose pills. So when should you adjust? Blood tests are the only reliable guide. If your results show levels consistently above 50 nanograms per milliliter, experts suggest lowering your dose or pausing for a few weeks. Some doctors even recommend switching to every other day intake. This approach still maintains healthy levels but reduces the risk of overload. Again, it's about balance. Not more, not less, but just enough. The Japanese diet adds another layer of protection. Dishes like grilled mackerel, miso soup with salmon, or sardines with rice provide a natural source of D3. These meals also contain omega-3 fats, which work hand in hand with vitamin D to support heart and brain health. By relying on food, they avoid the roller coaster of extreme highs and lows that come with heavy supplementation. It's also important to understand how individual needs differ. People with darker skin require more sun exposure than those with fair skin. Those living in northern states with long winters may need higher intake compared to people in sunny climates. Age matters too. Older adults don't produce vitamin D from sunlight as efficiently as younger people. That's why Japanese elders combine short daily sun exposure with consistent fish intake. They're covering both bases without pushing their body into danger zones. Let's talk about the warning signs that your body might be getting too much. One of the first is unexplained fatigue. You expect vitamins to give you energy, yet you feel sluggish. Another is digestive upset, nausea, bloating, constipation, or even diarrhea, depending on which pill you're taking. Sleep problems are another red flag. Magnesium is supposed to help you rest, but if you take it at the wrong time, or if D3 levels run too high, your sleep rhythm can be disrupted. Then there's the heart. Irregular beats, pounding in your chest, or feeling like your heart is skipping can sometimes be linked to excess D3 or imbalances between magnesium and potassium. These symptoms are often blamed on stress or age, but they might actually be messages from your body to ease off the pills. Joint pain despite supplementing, or rising anxiety levels despite taking magnesium, are also signals. They remind us that the body has its own wisdom, and forcing more and more vitamins into it doesn't always equal better health. This is where the Japanese principle of moderation teaches us again. They don't consume one nutrient in excess. Instead, they rotate foods, vary their meals, and let balance come through diversity. A bowl of rice one day, sweet potatoes the next. Fish today, tofu tomorrow. This variety prevents the overload that comes with taking the same capsule daily for years. Take the story of Mr. Green, a retired teacher from Ohio. He began taking high doses of vitamin D3 after reading it would make him strong again. After a year, he noticed more fatigue, not less. His doctor found his calcium levels were too high, stressing his kidneys. By switching to smaller doses and eating more fish, plus walking outdoors each morning, his energy improved within months. His experience mirrors the Japanese way. Food and sunlight first, supplements as a backup. The larger lesson is clear. Supplements like D3, K2, and magnesium have their place, but they must be used with wisdom. Your body thrives on cycles, work and rest, sun and shade, nutrients and pauses. Japan shows us that long life doesn't come from bottles of pills. It comes from daily habits, moderate eating, outdoor activity, and balanced meals filled with natural sources of vitamins and minerals. In the end, the question is not whether these nutrients are safe or dangerous. It's whether we respect the natural rhythm of our body or try to push it beyond its design. Supplements can be friends, but they can also become burdens if misused. The Japanese have already shown us the path. Let food be your medicine, let balance be your shield, and let moderation be your guide. There are 5 warning signs that most people ignore. You might think everything feels fine, so why change? But that's exactly the trap. Overload from supplements doesn't hit you like a sudden storm. It creeps in slowly. It shows up as little signals that are easy to dismiss as just aging or just stress. The first sign is a strange kind of fatigue. You take vitamins expecting energy, but somehow, the more you take, the heavier your body feels. Many seniors tell me, "I thought I was just tired from age," when in reality, their liver was overwhelmed by constant supplement processing. In Japan, elders rarely face this problem because they let food supply nutrients at a steady pace instead of bombarding the system with pills. The second sign is digestive rebellion. Too much magnesium oxide can trigger diarrhea. Excessive D3 can lead to constipation and bloating. But because these issues come and go, many people blame a meal instead of the supplement. Japanese diets naturally reduce this risk. Meals rich in fiber, fermented vegetables, and seaweed keep digestion smooth, while providing minerals that balance out any nutrient fluctuations. The third warning sign is broken sleep. You might buy magnesium to rest better, but if you take the wrong form or at the wrong time, it can actually wake you up. D3 taken in excess can also disrupt circadian rhythms. This explains why some people toss and turn at night, even while doing everything right. In Japan, seniors rely on evening rituals like warm miso soup or a soak in the onsen hot springs to calm the body. These practices restore sleep without depending on tablets. The fourth sign is irregular heartbeat, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes pounding in the chest. It's easy to dismiss as anxiety, but often it's the body signaling imbalances between D3, calcium, and magnesium. This imbalance can strain the heart. Contrast this with Japanese elders who walk daily, eat potassium-rich vegetables like spinach and sweet potatoes, and maintain balance naturally. Their circulation and rhythm benefit more from lifestyle than from a shelf of supplements. The final sign is subtle but most important, a sense that something is off. Your joints ache despite D3. You feel anxious despite magnesium. You feel exhausted despite a cabinet full of pills. It's your body telling you to pause, reset, and listen. In Japan, this philosophy is clear in the practice of MA, which means creating space. Just like silence between musical notes, rest between supplements allows the body to recover. Take the case of Mrs. Johnson, a 68-year-old from Denver. She took high doses of D3 and magnesium daily, convinced it was the key to staying strong. But after months of fatigue, stomach upset, and sleepless nights, she stopped everything for 2 weeks. To her surprise, her energy returned, her digestion calmed, and her legs felt lighter. She didn't abandon supplements forever. She just shifted to smaller doses and added foods like sardines, natto, and spinach. The Japanese way turned out to be her solution. The lesson here is not to fear supplements, but to use them wisely. K2 remains safe for most people long-term, especially when obtained from natto or aged cheese. Magnesium is usually best taken daily, but preferably from foods like tofu, seaweed, and nuts. D3 requires the most caution, monitoring blood levels, balancing with sunlight, and pausing when levels run high. It's not about avoidance, but about rhythm and respect for your body's signals. In Japan, longevity is not built on quick fixes. It's built on small daily habits, moderate eating, outdoor walks, and meals filled with variety. Supplements are seen as backup, not the foundation. That's why Japanese elders often remain active well into their 80s and 90s without carrying a drawer full of pills. So there we have our answer. K2 is safe for long-term use. Magnesium should not be stopped suddenly, but supported daily through food. And D3 needs careful monitoring and adjustment. The most important lesson, however, is still this: listen to your own body. When it speaks, don't ignore it. Supplements are like spices in cooking. Just enough brings out the best flavors, but too much ruins the dish. Your body works the same way. The goal is not to swallow more pills, but to create balance between food, sunlight, movement, and rest. That's the wisdom the Japanese have practiced for centuries. Think about their daily life. Breakfast might include natto or miso soup with seaweed. Lunch often features fish rich in vitamin D3. Dinner is balanced with vegetables, tofu, and rice. These foods deliver K2, magnesium, and D3 in natural amounts, without stressing the liver or kidneys. It's no wonder Japan has some of the longest living people on Earth. The message here is simple: you are never too old to shift toward balance. Even if you've taken supplements for years, you can still adjust by adding more nutrient-rich foods, enjoying the sun safely, and paying attention to what your body tells you. Strength, energy, and calm don't just come from bottles, they come from daily habits. So ask yourself, are you relying too much on pills, or are you giving your body what it truly needs from natural sources? Share your experience in the comments. What foods have helped you feel stronger and more alive? Your story may inspire someone else. And remember, if this video has been helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Your health is your greatest wealth, and together we can learn how to live long and live well, just like the Japanese.